guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now my goal is at the end of this video is to show you guys how to become a brand strategist designer. That is what our topic is for today. Now, if this is your guys' first time on my channel, my name is Lacaba. I am the virtual ate. I've been working from home since I was 15 years old, and I run an outsourcing agency here in Cebu City, Philippines. And I post videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. So make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss any of my videos. Now, as today is a Thursday, I'm going to be introducing you guys to one of my friends. He is the co-founder of Freedom Nexxyz, and he's also someone who is a brand strategist and designer. He's someone who helps a lot of brands make sure that their experience is right. And of course, he's going to be diving into that in a little bit. I've invited him here a couple of times on this channel, and finally I roped him into like, hey, let's just do this. So without further ado, I would love to introduce you guys to my friend, JFranz Garsula. Hi, Franz!
Hey, Leanne, how are you?
Good, good. For those who haven't been following me, we're actually just wrapping up a huge summit that we're doing, which inspired this interview, actually. So Franz has been a friend of mine for about a good year now. Like, we've been actually friends for a good year. We've been in each other's network for years, looking at it, since I know Nisley from my Toastmaster days, actually. So I want to just kind of get started. How did you get started working online?
Well, it really started way back 11 years ago when I was in college. And you know what college feels like. For me, I was enjoying playing video games. And since my allowance wasn't enough for playing computers, so I decided, hey, like, is there something, some extra money I can grab from? Like, first, I started for researching for jobs online, make money online. And then I've heard of the term virtual assistant. And then long story short, my friend referred me to a website called onlinejobs.ph. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people know that website and applied there. When I applied there, it was quite easy to find a job then because there's not a lot of virtual assistants before. And the first thing that I worked on was being a writer for a travel agency company. And the company kind of like noticed how I enjoy adding some pictures in the write-ups that I create. And I edited it a little bit because I was into photography at that time too, because I had this phone and just add a little bit of extra in my work of writing. Then the boss that I had then like invited me, hey, why don't you do some graphics? And then I enjoyed the graphics work in the company, but eventually enjoyed more jobs because I was taking up 2 jobs at that time. You have to do some side hustles, right? I had at that time. And then I dove into graphic design and spent more time in graphic design for like 2 more years and stumbled upon digital marketing. And that's when the entire digital marketing skills have been honed. And I figured out in the journey of really learning like writing for SEO bosses at that time, and then graphic design, and then copywriting, so digital marketing. And in this digital era, it was really fun reskilling myself, like adding more skills to my tool set. Then it was really slow to learn a certain skill, but today I've been learning several more skills because there's AI. You can even learn singing through an app because there's some lines that you can follow and then you can be better in that app, right? So today I'm arena of learning more skills through, like, for example, entrepreneurship through Freedom Nexxyz, which is the skills that I'm learning is more on the digital leadership and mainly entrepreneurship. But the services that I'm offering these days is creating brands and creating strategies. For example, my company and the coaches who are aligned or working with our company are on partners too.
Oh, that's super awesome. And I love that, your story shows at the same time someone who really started from the bottom now here, and then like getting up until now you have your own company. Actually, you are your own boss. So can you expand a little bit before we dive into a little bit of like your story of the skills that you got started with on being a brand strategist and someone who designs things for other people, because that was a skill that you kind of latched into for, like I said, 2 years, and now you're learning more and more, of course. But what does basically a brand strategist and designer do?
Let's go with brand design or brand strategy first, right? Like when you're doing brand strategy, like you create a company or you create a product with companies wherein your goal is not to earn something. Your goal is not to really make more sales. The entire goal of brand strategy is to really elicit a certain emotion attached to a certain company, to a certain product.
Mhm.
So what does a brand strategy do? It creates steps or bridges systems that helps the customer reach to that certain goal. Say if you're a coach, right, and you're also running an agency and you want your agency to have probably more clients.
Mhm.
So let's do a little bit of role play, maybe. Like, what's the main goal of your agency right now?
Well, for right now, it's really focused on helping content creators just make more time so they can do the thing that they love.
So are you scaling into like having more content creators?
Yeah, yeah.
And how is it going so far?
Well, that so far has just been a lot of referrals and a lot of working with really amazing people who are in their own space who are really achieving a lot.
So there, like, what is the cause why you are gaining more referrals? What is that part of your service that helps you gain more referrals?
Basically, by pairing the content creator or the client with the right person who helps them. And then for me, on my end, I coach that person so they can perform better or help their client better.
You have created a service that really creates a good fit for your client and for
Mhm.
your VA or your remote executive assistant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that alone, it creates connection with your clients to your agency.
Mhm.
So as a brand strategist, we look for the main emotion that the client or the customer is looking for. So
Mhm.
there you go, like you create a good market fit or service fit with your customers. So we create strategies, we create steps to reach there, and pretty sure you have some process.
Oh yeah. So thank you for that role play because that gives a very good illustration for a lot of those who are interested in getting into this. So you mentioned earlier that with the skill that you got started, you started with helping other people write articles, and then you gave more value, which is something that a lot of you guys will appreciate learning about, is giving that value. On the side of it is you started adding more stuff to it. You weren't just submitting just an article, you were putting images, you were adding your own spin to it, and then of course more and more people paid attention to that because that's a part of what you get when you give more value than what is asked. So with that, what has that been experienced so far in the last couple of years for you, of being someone who is always curious about new skills, of being someone who is learning also, not just curious, just you're actually taking the effort and time to learn it and master it? How has that been experienced for you so far?
So far, it's really mainly focusing on the process of right now, since I'm in the area where, or the period of my life where I'm learning more and more entrepreneurship, the process of becoming a better entrepreneur, becoming better at creating more value, creating better funnels, creating better experiences, bits of processes along the way that I have to learn. It's kind of like, since I'm also operating because like I enjoy that part of the business too, because like if you're going to live your life or live your days, your time in working on something, you might as well just enjoy it, right? So it's really more on the process of enjoying what you're currently doing. As a brand strategist, I enjoy creating steps and funnels and experiences along the way. Like, what emotion is this user is going to experience in the funnel, or I mean in the entry or the lobby page, or the part of the landing page, or in a Zoom call or stuff like that.
So you're always thinking of the small things that a lot of people don't really notice, but in the like overview of everything, they say like, "Oh, I see what he did there," which I have seen as someone who has worked with you, of how you really look into details of how adding in a place where people can chat, adding in a place where people can comment and share with their friends, or adding in a place where people can interact with each other. I've seen you do that again and again, which is something that if you are a brand strategist, you have to pay attention to the small details. So far, what has been the most surprising thing about working online for you?
It's having the set of tools that we're available or really coming into us. It's rapidly advancing as time passes by, right? Like, even past article that I've read somewhere over the internet, it is said that every 3 to 6 months, a tool that we have is being updated, it's being changed, or like there are more features being added. So like I remember this time when I saw a poster or a quote card that was done by Nestle. That quote card is something that I can do. Things that I need to do, the graphics, the glamorous part of designing it, can be done in 2 hours. And the skill too, that of using Photoshop, can needs like 1,000 hours or more. But when Canva went out,
True.
damn, it's like 5 minutes for most
Game
people
changer.
now, like, right? Like, so
Yeah.
knowing that, there's an infinite amount of skills that we can learn because we're humans, right? We are the ultimate adaptation machine, and all we need to do is like have something that we are really interested and passionate in and learn it. So that's the most fascinating thing that I've been doing online, like really reskilling myself to become a best version of me, a great passionate version of me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with the tools thing. Like I remember when I was still, because kind of like you, I dabbled in a lot of different skills. Like I remember at one point for when I was working for the book publishing company, I was also doing a little bit of social media posts, but I was using Photoshop. And then I remember the first time I saw Canva, I'm like, this changes everything, and I don't have to
Yeah.
pay. So like I remember that feeling. I remember that like now I haven't opened Photoshop in 3 years because of Canva, because I can now do everything inside of Canva, which is kind of sad. I want to relearn Photoshop now that we're talking about it, but it's crazy how fast tools can make your life
Well, you
just
don't
easy.
really have to like learn it, right? Like there's even a part in Photoshop that we have to learn use a pen tool and
Mm-hmm.
like to remove the background, and now you can
Yep.
just go to remove.bg
Background.
and just
Yep. No,
drag drag and
Canva
drop,
now has a background remover in
right?
their
Like there
Pro.
you
Yeah.
go.
I just click on it and it's gone.
All you need to do is just learn the basics, and as long as you enjoy it, and then spend more time in it, because that's what being human is. Like you just live with what you are enjoying in your life, what skill you're trying to learn, right? Or enjoying to learn.
True, true, true. Okay, so far we've talked a lot about what you do, being a brand strategist. What has been a shortcut or something that just makes your life just a little bit easier every time you work with a new client, or every time like an old client comes back and wants to work with you again? What has been a shortcut that makes that whole process easier for you?
What people forget about is the idea. I mean, everything starts with an idea, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they don't really introduce new things to your client. Say, for example, way back when I was starting writing, a good experience is to introduce new things, to be ahead of what people are offering. Say,
Mm-hmm.
if you're doing SEO, it would be nice to add a little bit of extra, which is something that you're passionate in. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so not a lot of clients will. I've done it too, where not a lot of clients enjoyed it because there's some people that are better than me. But
Mm-hmm.
having that intent that, hey, you want to go further, a little bit cherry on top in your ice cream
Mm-hmm.
that you're giving to your clients, really go a long way. It's a hack. That means like some clients may even give you their time to talk or to like give advices, which develop the relationship even more with just random talking. Because the ultimate hack is, aside from having that cherry on top, that extra service, people are fond of extra services, it's relationship, like building
Mm-hmm.
that relationship with your client, talking with your client. And really, like for example, like I have a client right now wherein I still give some service to, but since it's there's this scenario, I had to cut back on the costs. So
Mm-hmm.
like the COVID, the pandemic, right? Like we have
Yeah.
to really
Take that in
understand,
consideration.
yeah,
Yeah.
like value relationship over whatever it is that you're getting.
I love that. I love that. It's basically boils down. Your shortcut basically boils down to taking initiative, like taking that. What is something else that I can give them? So it's value driven, and also at the same time, it's building that relationship. Because in the end, that's how you keep getting referrals. That's how you keep getting people who keep coming back, even though they're done with the services that they needed from you, because you're able to give that value and also have that relationship with them of just kind of just beyond like getting to know them, asking about their day or asking about them, or seeing that you were kind of hedging of getting to the point where they mentor you because you already show them that you're someone who's worth, who takes action, takes initiative. So it would be fun for them to just kind of help you out. So if someone right now is watching this, and was probably why you stumbled upon this YouTube video, you want to get started as a brand strategist and designer, what would be a piece of advice or a small step that they can do to get themselves started?
If I go back 10 years ago, or like I just get started with what I'm interested in, like start with that spark of interest inside of you, or even if you don't have that interest, a spark of curiosity, right? And build up on it. If you're curious about making money online, just like what I did, and then I stumbled upon online jobs at PH, then start with that spark of curiosity and add up another curiosity, which is for me, it was graphic design. And then I added some curiosity with video editing and digital marketing. And when that curiosity piles up, it becomes an interest. And when that interest piles up, it becomes a passion. And
True.
when you have piled up multiple passions, you love writing, you love video editing, or you love more thing, and combine it into one. Say, for us now, coaching, entrepreneurship, and marketing. That's why we are having the Reskill Summit. We want to bring in coaches to people and market it to the audience in the Philippines, and have some entrepreneurship strategies and techniques deployed along the way, which is
Mhm.
a compilation of what we learned as a team and so far. So again, like, when you really want to start with that interest and spend time on it as long as you enjoy it. Like, don't chase for the money, chase for the satisfaction, the enjoyment, the fun along the way. Because if you're going to chase for the money anyway, just chase for the fun, because money attracts fun. Money is attracted to happiness, fun, enjoyment, right? If you
Mhm.
have high level vibrations, then money is going to you.
True, true. And we've both been in the industry long enough that that is true, that you have to start with what you're currently interested in, which is why we're working together, which is why we have the summit, which is why you guys have Freedom Nexxyz, and I've partnered up with you guys with the Work Anywhere Challenge, is because of that fun, is because it's just something that we like to do. It's not something that we have to do, it's something that we like to do. So I want to ask you, with all of that in the last couple of years, what has been currently your big, hairy, audacious goal? What is something that you are going towards? What's something that, if you had all the resources in the world, what would your life look like?
Is to create a company that restores human beings to really level up in their life and become their own conscious agents, so that they can reskill or relearn things and unprogram the old way of learning. Even like, you can also
Mm.
unlearn the things that aren't that useful, especially when you went through traditional education.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that unlearning, because that's a lot of the things that you have to kind of go through if you're trying to learn a new skill. Is you have to unlearn the myths or any truths about it that you had in your head, so you can move forward. So with that goal, and I love that. I love that. Again, it's always value driven with you. It's always moving towards something. It's always not just focused on money, not focused on something physical. It's always helping others get to a certain point, or getting your whatever you're launching to give more value than what people are paying for. So how can people support you? How can people find you? How can people contact you if this is something that they want to support? If this goal is something that they see themselves being able to do and help, how can they reach you?
Well, I'd like to help you, for whoever's watching that. I'd like to help you. So if you want to learn more about anything under digital marketing, or really adapting in this digital revolution that we are in, just go to freedomnexxyz.com. That's Nexxyz, NEXXYZ, the
Mhm.
next XYZ, or next alphabet. Freedomnexxyz.com. We're on Facebook. Maybe Leanne can put in the
Mhm.
link here. So
Awesome.
we're also launching Reskill Summits and series of waves along the way. Like, the next one is going to be on November. So that's going to be fun, and watch out for it.
Awesome. Okay. Thank you so much, JFranz, for being here, for sharing a lot of your golden nuggets on getting started working online or working online in general. I know a lot of people are going to get a lot of value from this. And comment below if you guys have any favorite tips, or if you have a question for Franz, because you never know, he might answer. He might go into this random YouTube video and answer your question. So thank you so much, Franz.
Welcome.
So make sure, guys, to check out the links in the description and in the comment box below, so you guys can connect with friends. And again, if you have any favorite like golden nuggets or any favorite quote that he said, make sure to comment it below so you can share it with other people. And also make sure to hit that like button right there, because that does help grow my channel. And if you still haven't, make sure to hit the subscribe button right there so you don't miss, again, anyway videos every Sunday and Thursday on how to work from home. And if you guys can, please hit that share button, share this on your Facebook so more people are able to see this video. And you guys can check out these other 2 interviews that I've done right here, so you can see what else is possible for you in this online space. And I hope you guys have an awesome day, and remember that small steps matters. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.